What's up guys, this is Ben from Life in 360, and one of the most common questions I've been getting in the last few weeks is, which is better, the LG 360 cam or the Ricoh Theta? Well, I have them side by side here, and I'll start by saying that they're both amazing cameras, and they're both a very worthy investment. Usually when people come to me and ask me which should I buy, I come down to price. Price is really the biggest factor for a lot of people, because they are both cameras that are capable of capturing a really impressive video and photo. So obviously you've got the LG, which is much cheaper, and they just reduced the price point to $99. That's pretty hard to beat that. The Theta is about $399 depending on where you look. So first up, the LG wins for price. This next part is going to come as a bit of a shock, so you might want to sit down. So I've taken the exact same photo with each camera, and which one of these do you think has the higher resolution? Surely it's the Ricoh, right? Wrong, it's the LG. The LG has two dual 13 megapixel sensors, whereas the Ricoh only has dual 12 megapixel sensors. So the LG is actually a higher resolution camera, believe it or not. That came as a big shock to me. Also with lenses, the LG has twin f1.8 lenses, whereas the Ricoh is only f2. So the LG is sounding much better, right? Well, that's where I'm not so sure. When you look at these two photos, to me, the Theta image looks a lot better for a number of reasons. Firstly, the dynamic range is better. It's able to capture shadows and highlights much better in the same image, whereas the LG looks quite hazy and just a bit dull, to be honest. Also, when shooting, the Ricoh has much better manual control. It allows for manual tuning of your ISO, white balance, shutter speed, noise, exposure, compensation, all that stuff. Whereas the LG is much more limited. It's harder to get specifically what you want. Also, another huge factor in this equation is focus. So you might notice with the LG, only about maybe 60% of this image is in focus. You'll notice around the seam line and around the top and bottom, it's largely out of focus, whereas the Theta is crystal clear all the way through. This is quite a big issue for photos, and as a result, it's hard for me to be able to rely on the LG as a photo camera when only 60% of it's in focus. You need your shots to be in focus, therefore the Theta by far is my photo camera of choice. So video is actually quite surprising because, believe it or not, as you might be able to see here, the resolution is higher on the LG, the cheaper camera, than the Theta. The Theta isn't exactly known for its sharp, high quality video. It's a camera that's about 1.5 years old now, so unfortunately it's just not there for video, but it is for photos. So if you prefer 360 stills photography, tiny planet photography, the Theta is the camera for you, and it's worth investing that extra $300 because you're going to get so much higher resolution photos and a better end result. Another issue for 360 photography is the stitch line. So if I walk around to the Theta's stitch line here, there you go, there I am. The stitching's perfect, no issues at all. You go all the way around and we're not seeing any stitching issues. I'm not getting stitched out. You can see the full 360 uninterrupted, which is pretty incredible. That's a really cool feature. And it has, from what I've seen, the best stitching out of any 360 camera. The LG, however, started with really poor stitching. I think since they updated their firmware or software, it's actually gotten better, but their seam line isn't perfect. So as you can see, I'm right in the seam line. You'll notice kind of discoloration. It's much kind of brighter around the stitch line. It doesn't look as good, unfortunately. So it's just something to be aware of, that's going to be there. You can actually shoot in a way that avoids this. So if you just make sure you or your subject is in front of the front lens or in front of the back lens, you should be able to avoid any seamline issues. All right, here's a bit of movement for you, just so you can see how they each react to walking, fast movement, and also shake. I have noticed that the LG actually shakes quite a bit more than the Theta. It's noticeably shakier. However, I've also noticed that when uploading videos to Facebook, they're now stabilizing 360 videos. So I shot something the other day that was shaky as hell on the LG, and Facebook completely stabilized it, so it was almost like on a Steadicam. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. If you're shooting 360 videos, as opposed to Tiny Planets, Facebook will stabilize them for you. YouTube may as well, but I think Facebook has the better stabilization technology. One thing I also want to add is, like, a lot of people might complain that, oh, the LG's photo quality isn't good, the stitch line isn't good, and the Theta's video quality isn't good. But something you need to keep in mind is you get what you pay for. The more money you pay, the better a camera you will get. It's as simple as that. You can't expect your camera to be a red dragon when you're paying $99 for it. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, you need to invest the money if you want all the bells and whistles. So for $99 for the LG, it's incredible. It way over delivers. And to be honest, the Theta S, which has been around for a year and a half, still over delivers. I'm on to my third or fourth Theta. I've broken like 3 of them from being stupid, but I keep buying it over and over because it way over delivers for the price I pay for it. 2 more things worth noting. In terms of the cases each camera comes in, the LG's is a hard plastic case that really does a good job at protecting the lenses and the whole camera. It's almost impenetrable. The Ricoh Theta S comes in a neoprene case, which is really handy. However, if you did drop it from like a meter or 2, it very well could still smash the lens. Just something to keep in mind, because like I said, I've been through 4 Ricoh Theta cameras now, only because of safety. Like, it's been hard to transport it, and I've knocked them over in the wind and taken them swimming, stuff like that. But the case is better on the LG. Just something to keep in mind. And you can get other Ricoh Theta cases if you wish. Another thing is the apps. So the Ricoh Theta, because it's a bigger brand that have really invested more in their technology, they have a much better smartphone app for both Apple and Android. You can do almost anything, shoot fully manually, browse through your gallery very easily, edit, add in anything you want post-production wise. The LG's app is still very basic. It's like the dial-up internet compared to broadband. Like, you feel like you're using one of the very first iPhones. When you open it up, it's just very simplistic. Look, it works and it does the job, but it is quite limiting because it's basic. So yeah, in terms of app, the Theta wins. Honestly, the Theta's been the best investment I've ever made in my life, so I'm so happy that I bought it. Ultimately, you've just got to go with your price bracket. Yeah, I use both. I like having 2 cameras because with 360 cameras, battery life runs out as well, so it is handy having 2 instead of 1. No matter what you get, you're probably going to get a really good result that over-delivers for the amount you pay. So absolutely invest in one if you haven't already. All right, guys, until next time, this is Ben Claremont, reporting to you live from the Sydney Opera House, aka my backyard. I'm going to go play some Pokemon Go, so I will get going. Until next time, keep living your life in 360. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.